What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at part 4 of my Mattel Wrestling figure collection. Starting off with 2 that I picked up last night at Walmart. Very decent 2-pack. We got the main event Finn Balor and Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Honestly, that was a big seller for me just to grab it, just to get the Money in the Bank briefcase. Don't have one, and I thought the figures looked pretty good likeness. Yeah, pretty decent 2-pack there. I'll do a little zoom in action for you. But yeah, man, basics are cool again. So there's the first 2 for the new video there. Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Put them off to the side over here. Very cool. Next up, we got the Elite Boogeyman with clock, with worms. I actually didn't take the plastic off of the clock here. I think I was scared it was going to just fall apart, so I just left it on. But yeah, great Boogeyman figure. I don't really know what era this is, maybe 2006, 7. I think he debuted in 05, if I'm correct, maybe 06. Don't really remember exactly, but great detail on the pants. Comes with his staff. The worm accessory is great. But yeah, just an awesome looking Elite. They just came out with another new one, which is pretty cool too, but I think the only one I need is this one. And I have some of his Jax figures too, so still very cool Boogeyman figure. We'll put him off to the side over here. Coming up next, we have the Ruthless Aggression JBL American Bash. Great American Bash, I should say. I think I got this one off CWF a year or so ago when these came out. Very cool JBL. Yeah, what more to say? I mean, I feel like we don't get enough JBL figures these days. Would love to get them in a suit, but you know, we have that old basic from last video, I guess, for now. But still nice to have a JBL in his Great American Bash outfit there. So yeah, there's the Ruthless Aggression JBL. Coming up next, we got the High Chief Peter Maivia. Awesome figure, one that I didn't think we'd get, especially me, because these figures didn't show up to Canada. I actually had to order this online through walmart.ca, and it actually did show up in my city for pickup, so that was nice. Came in that 3-pack. But yeah, just an awesome figure, man. He's got the pink tights underneath, the leg tats everywhere. Just a big, bulky, scary looking dude back in the day. Very cool. High Chief Peter Maivia. He goes on top. Very cool. Next up, we have an old school basic. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend here. One I just picked up in a lot. Shout out to my buddy for hooking this up. I thought I needed it because I don't really have a Bray Wyatt with the jacket, and the shirt's a little different. And yeah, I just thought, you know, why not? It was a good price. Figured I'd add another Bray to the collection. So there's Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, with the jacket. Next up, we have Seth Rollins. Now, I'm not really sure which one this is from. I want to say it was a WrestleMania set. I do believe he had like a chest piece that goes over, but I just thought he looked better without it. He did just come like with these hands when I got him. I got him used, so I was going to swap the hands out, but whatever, I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to say I don't like Seth. I'm just not a huge fan of him. So maybe I'll get another figure of him down the line, but this is the perfect Seth for me in my collection. Not too bad. Cool chest hair on him. Seth Rollins. Who do we got next? Let's bring these 2 out together because they're just so cool. Another main event 2-pack that I got. Minus the belts, of course. At least one of them. I think that one came with the 2-pack. But I threw on one of the DX jackets on this Triple H. I threw on that hat from the Ultimate Edition. And I gave them some belts from their 2001 2-man Power Trip era. Very cool 2-pack, I thought. Just needed a little extra, and made it really cool. Love this Austin shirt too. It's one of his classic shirts. Definitely want to get that shirt one day. But yeah, very cool. Put these off up here. Next up, we got Lex Luger, SummerSlam, I believe. I think this is a SummerSlam fig. SummerSlam or Survivor Series? I think it's SummerSlam. He did come with a Build-A-Figure piece, I believe. I can't really remember who it was. Part of me wants to say... Yeah, I don't even want to guess because I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Lex Luger. It's a good one for my late 80s, early 90s shelf with all my legends on it. I don't feel like I need the WCW Lex Luger Ultimate that just came out because I see it everywhere. It's clogging the shelves at Walmart's here in Canada, which is crazy that we're finally getting Ultimate figures and no one's buying them because they're characters we've already had in the past. Like, we just had 2 Lexes come out in like 2 years. So unless you're a huge Lex fan, I don't see everybody buying that new Ultimate. But yeah, this one's fine for me. I have this one. I have the Legends NWO Wolfpack one. I don't think I need another Lex. This one is great. We'll leave him there. Or we'll put him on top of his other American buddy here, JBL. All right, who do we got next? Let's bring out this Rock from that 3-pack with that Peter Maivia that I was just showing. Very cool Rock. I love this look for him. This was definitely like magazine cover Rock in like 1998 or 97, late 97 maybe. Not 100% sure exactly when that magazine came out, but very cool. He does come with the watch. He does come with a bracelet. Has a necklace underneath. Fortunately, doesn't have the Brahma Bull tat, but maybe he didn't have it at this time. I don't know. Doesn't really matter because I'm not taking this shirt off of him anyways. But still very cool. Would have been nice to get the pinless legs there too. But definitely a 90s, late 90s look for the Rock there. It was a must-have for my collection. He is definitely going up top. All right, who do we got next? We got old school basic Gold Dust here. I believe this is from like the later 2010 era. I'm not too sure. I did just throw him in my Ruthless Aggression era just because he looked similar to this. I know it's not the exact same outfit, but maybe one day we'll get another Gold Dust. Hopefully he comes and signs a WWE Legends deal. But, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath. But very good for a basic, man. The likeness is very good. Could definitely do with more Gold Dust figures in the collection. Gold Dust. Next up, we got Hulk Hogan. This is that weird Hulk Hogan that came with that helmet. He also came with the bandana. I thought the bandana was way cooler. So I just left the bandana on him with this license plate that he has around his neck. Very cool. He got a perfect tan. This is one of my favorite Hogan figures that I own. It's probably like early 90s Hogan, I would say. But yeah, very nice. Would have been nice if he came with a shirt too, but you can always just use one from another figure, I guess, if you wanted. But yeah, very cool. Scary eyes. We did recently just get a lot of Hogans over the past year or two, so I don't know how many more Hogans I can fit in my collection. We'll see in the future, I guess, in the future part 5 of my Mattel collection, if more Hogans have joined. There might even be more Hogans in this ring beside me. Can't even remember. But anyways, next up, I feel like we should bring both these guys out at the same time because they're a tag team. Jamal and Rosie. Very cool. Legends, Target, exclusive. Pick these up from CWF. Basically, all the figures we can't get in Canada, I get them from CWF because they know what they're doing. But yeah, just great figures, man. 2 guys gone way too soon. Just so happy to have these, man. I wish I had these in like Jack style back in the day. But hey, I'll take them now, man. And they're now in like the video games and everything. So it's great to see them finally like acknowledged. No pun intended. But yeah, very cool. We'll put them off to the side over here. There is another Rosie coming out too, I believe, superhero Rosie. So gonna have to get that. Next up, another tag team. We got another tag team here. We got the Bushwhackers, the Doink the Clown Bushwhackers. We actually saw this wave show up in Walmart here in Canada. Yeah, I don't know how that mark got on his back there. This is what happens when you just leave them in a ring for a week piled up on top of each other. Maybe they get some stains, but I don't know how that would happen. Anyways, there is, honestly, I can't remember which one's who. I want to say this one is Butch, and I want to say this one's Luke. But yeah, I feel like they were hilarious. You got to have them in your Legends display. The older ones kind of go for quite a bit, at least around here. So I noticed a lot of people didn't like the face printing on these ones and all that, but hey, they're good enough for me, man. Elite Bushwhackers. Next up, we got Legends Mr. Perfect in the yellow with the towel, with the Intercontinental Championship. Just one of the best elites on my shelf. We saw Mr. Perfect Basic in the last video. Now we have the Elite. Just very cool, man. Mr. Perfect's one of those guys. Another one gone too soon. Maybe a little bit of a hothead in the locker room, but very cool, man. Very cool figure. Just perfect. Just perfect. We'll put them up here. All right. Next up, we got another tag team. Tag team galore in this video. We have Farouk and Bradshaw, the Acolytes. Very cool. Very cool figures. I think these were Legends figures as well. They did hit Canada at some point. I just don't think I could find them. Like, I never saw them in Toys R Us. I think they were scooped up pretty quick. A lot of people use these to modify their old APA Elites with modern head sculpts and whatnot. So I would hope they would do another APA set with the table and the door, maybe redo that one so newer collectors can get it. But for now, these guys will do good. They will go good with your Ministry of Darkness and all that, Attitude Era. Just very cool figures. A little dusty too. I gotta clean these figs. But yeah, very cool. You gotta have the APA, the Acolytes, man. Classic tag team. All right, next up we have Kane. It's the same Kane, I believe, from the same set as this Lex. These were the only two I got from that wave. I just love this grin on Kane's face. It's just like super evil, like he knows he's doing something wrong or he's about to do something crazy and wrong. Just very cool Kane to have. Didn't have the Kane without the shirt too, attached to his singlet there. So technically it's a different look for him than what I previously had. So yeah, very cool. Very nice Kane. Always add more Kanes to the collection. He's one of my favorites. Next up, sorry if you guys hear some rain too. It just started raining not too long ago. Quick sip of the Zoa. Shout out to The Rock, the people's drink. Final boss. Next up, we have Big John Studd. Very cool figure. Another Legends figure. I think it came out in one of the earlier waves of Legends series. It does have the pins in the arms, which makes me think he is an older one. But yeah, just cool, man. Any guy with chest hair is cool in my books. But yeah, Big John Studd, very nice looking fig. Another one you got to have for the Legends shelf, in my opinion. Very cool. All right, who do we have next? Another great legend here. We got the Macho King. Yeah, dig it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was his last Mattel figure before they lost the license for him, which is a shame because they had that really cool Defining Moments figure coming out. Or was it an Ultimate? It was an Ultimate edition that was a Defining Moments figure before, I guess. I could see them bringing that back one day when they get the license. So Not too worried about that. But yeah, this Macho King's very cool. Comes with the scepter, the crown, the glasses. Just awesome figure, man. Great Macho King figure. He goes up top. Put his arm down. Very cool. All right, next up, let's bring this guy out. Oh, yeah. Paul Bearer. He is a dusty one. It's crazy how much dust gets in the room. Definitely got to invest in some, what are they called, detofs and display cases, but, you know, that's a future thing for sure. But yeah, this Paul Bearer is just so good, man. Great Paul Bearer. Another one I got off my buddy, Sam. Big shout out to him. He helps me out a lot on his travels for work. He looks for stuff for me. So, very cool, man. You gotta have Paul Bearer in the collection, especially if you have a bunch of Undertakers. But just one of the best figures that I remember getting last year. Very, very cool. Paul Bearer. Put him off to the side here. Gonna lose so much accessories, I swear. Another guy in a suit we got here is the Fink. I almost said Mean Gene, but Howard Finkel. There we go, the ring announcer for back in the day, the Attitude Era, Golden Era. Was in the business for a very long time. This is actually the older Build-A-Figure. When they released the new one, of course, somebody was out there selling this one. I had no interest in buying any of the figures that came with the new one. Maybe the Brett. I think it was a Brett, Bianca, Seth Rollins, and there was one other guy. I can't remember who, but just wasn't interested in any of them. Maybe the Brett, but I found this one at a toy show for $40, so saved me a lot. Didn't have to buy a bunch of figures I didn't want to get them, so not bad at all. Gotta have the Fink. Gotta have an announcer. Maybe we'll get a Lillian Garcia someday, too. That'd be nice. All right, up next, we got Ruthless Aggression, Shelton Benjamin. Another awesome figure that I was happy to get from CWF last year or so. He did come with a ladder, I believe. I think he came with a ladder. But, yeah, great likeness, great fig. Happy we got this before he jumped ship, too, so who knows when we'll see more Shelton Benjamin figures in the future. Probably not for a long time, so there is Shelton Benjamin, Ruthless Aggression. Next up, another tag team here. Let's see if I can find the other one so I can pull them out together. Where is he? He's hiding. All right, I guess we're just going to bring out the one for now. Jimmy Uso. We got the Jimmy Uso basic. Oh, here he is. Here's Jay. Jay and Jimmy Uso. Not a bad two-pack. Actually, was kind of going for a lot when it was released on the secondary market because they were so over at the time this came out. I mean, like, they've always been over, but, like, they were really on fire when this two-pack came out. The Bloodline was going on, and very cool figures. Unfortunately, they're the old style, though, so their legs don't really move that great. But if they're just standing there behind Roman, I think they look pretty good to me. Let's bring out Solo, too. Another one that I saw at Walmart. It was one of those days where you just go to Walmart to grab groceries and you check the toy aisle out and you're like, oh shit, like there's Solo and all these new elites. I just thought he looked really cool, so picked him up. Great figure. I guess I do need to complete the Bloodline now. Spoiler alert, don't have a Sami Zayn figure, so guess I'm on the lookout for that Sami Zayn. That We the Ones or the Bloodline honorary. Can't even say that word. Honorary Uso. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. He just had an Ultimate release too that looks very nice. There is Solo. All right, next up we have incomplete Build-A-Figure here. The Disciple, I believe, is his name. Brutus Beefcake from his WCW NWO days. Just an awesome figure. I just wish I could get the arms for this guy, man. I could not find Stevie Ray anywhere, which sucks because I need him to complete my Harlem Heat, and I need him to complete this Disciple figure. So, yeah, hopefully one day I can come across that Stevie Ray. I don't know. Maybe I can just find some other arms to put on this guy. I don't know. But shout out to CWF once again for getting most of the figures for this wave. Even he had trouble finding Stevie Rays. So if anyone in Canada and Ontario has Stevie Ray or the arms, give me a shout on Instagram. There is the Disciple. We'll put him up top. Next up, we have Rocky Johnson. Soul Man Rocky Johnson. Very cool. Unique boots on the guy. It is a little different than his older Elite. I think his older Elite got the skin tone all wrong. This is kind of more accurate. He does have the chest hair and the tattoos on his chest. Very cool figure. The robe's nice. Just another one I felt like I needed to have in my collection. He's the final piece of that 3-pack with Peter and The Rock. So, very, very cool to have Soul Man Rocky Johnson ready to throw hands. He'll go on the top. Next up, we got Tugboat. Very cool Tugboat figure. I believe this was a re-release. Greatest Hits, I believe. Could be wrong. Was it a Legends Greatest Hits? I think they did that series, Legends Greatest Hits. But I believe they swapped the head and gave him the like the choo-choo. Not like a choo-choo head, but like a horn. I don't know what you call that on a boat, but very cool. A tug horn? Is that what it's called? I don't know. But very cool figure. Another one I felt like I needed to have on my Legends display there. Very cool. Tugboat. Alright, next up we got my custom WrestleMania 20 Rock from when he faced Evolution with Mankind, or Mick Foley, I guess, not Mankind. I believe this head was on a basic 2-pack from like way back in my first Mattel collection video. I eventually ended up opening it and throwing this head on one of the newer Elites. Not newer Elites, but like 2012, 2013, around that era. There was an Elite figure that just looked perfect for this head. I think it was almost literally the exact same trunks and everything. So, very cool Rock. I'm happy to add a rare, certain era of the Rock into my collection with the goatee and everything. I like to call it Walking Tall Rock because it was like around that time when he was doing Walking Tall. So, very cool. Easy custom to make if you have that basic and that Elite. The Elite had a horrible head scan, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Those early Rock Elites were, some of them were rough. All right, next up, we have another kind of mishmash custom here. Bobby the Brain on a Mr. Perfect body. I believe I got every figure from that set except for maybe the guy who had the arms and the head. I think these arms are from a different Build-A-Figure. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I felt like it looked good enough just to have Bobby there in a suit. You don't see the back that says Mr. Perfect on the shelf, so he just stands right beside Andre, and it does the trick for me. Bobby the Brain. Next up, we got Dusty Rhodes, Mattel Basic. One I got not too long ago, picked up recently from a lot I purchased. But it was actually a Jack's lot I purchased, and he was just in there. So I was like, oh, cool. Random Mattel figure in a Jack's lot. But, yeah, not bad. Not a bad Dusty Rhodes basic. Next up, we got the Build-A-Figure Mean Gene from one of the sets from a year ago or so. Actually never noticed they just painted that part of his jacket on. But another one I feel like you got to have. Great interviewer backstage, a lot of moments, a lot of famous moments. Just very cool. Got to have Mean Gene in the collection. Absolute legend. Next up, we have Greg the Hammer Valentine. Rhythm and Blues edition. Definitely left this elastic on the guitar. You guys know, you know, these guitars are horrible to display. They just fall apart all the time. But this is another one I don't really know too much about. I just thought, you know, Greg the Hammer's a legend. Got to get him in the collection. Just really need a honky tonk, man. Really need a honky tonk. So hopefully I can find a honky tonk in the future. I thought this figure was really cool, man. The detail and the jacket and everything, just very cool. Might not have worn this look a lot, but I thought it was cool enough to get. So there is Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer. All right, who we got next? Let's bring all these guys out here. We got a whole clan here. Is it a clan? I guess they call it a... What do they call it? I don't even remember the word. I can't remember. I can't think on the fly all the time. But we have the Nation of Domination, man. We got all 4 members. I know I'm missing a couple, but we do need a Mark Henry. I believe we will get Mark Henry eventually again. But, man, just seeing these guys on the shelf doing the pose just brings it right back. This was like the first I ever knew of The Rock when he came on the scene when I was such a young lad. I was just like, man, that guy looks like my dad a bit. I think he's really cool. So ever since then, The Rock's been cool. To me, he's been the best. But as you guys remember in the last video, this Rock came with another head, the meme head from that interview with Farouk and everybody. This was the regular head that came on the figure. I just left it on, looked too good. Same with the shirt, just one of those cool random shirts he wore like one night on Raw. Just very cool. Very happy to have D'Lo, Farouk, and The Rock, Nation of Domination. We'll put them on top. Might have to put them out of their pose though. But very cool, man. We need that Mark Henry. Not gonna say we're gonna get Crush one day. Probably not. Probably never going to get Owen Hart either, so got to make a custom of that. Anywho, next up, we have another kind of custom here. Awesome looking Undertaker. This is the older Elite, just with a head swap from that basic 2-pack with Jeff Hardy. Just the head looked way better. And yeah, I just thought, you know, screw it. The other head looked so bad compared to this one that I had to do it. But just this is probably like top 2 Undertakers in the collection now. Very cool. Hopefully we get another updated one down the line, maybe of like a different look. Maybe with the big red, big evil shirt. But yeah, just very cool, man. Very cool Undertaker. Another one I got from my buddy Sam. Hooked it up. Yeah. What more to say, really? 2002, 2003, Undertaker. One of my favorite eras in wrestling, so one of my favorite figures in the collection. We'll put them on top. Next up, we have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This is another, I think, fan channel Elite. I'm not too sure exactly. Can't remember exact wave, but I do remember getting this off of, I think I got this off CWF as well. Could be wrong, honestly. But just awesome, like awesome Ricky the Dragon. This, when I close my eyes and think of Ricky, it's either this or in the all black, like his LJN. But very cool, man. It looks great with the IC belt, soft goods, ski. The boots are really nice. Just such an awesome figure, man. He's a fronter in my classic Legends shelf. Next up, we got Johnny Knoxville. He's one of those guys that some wrestling fans hate because he took a spot at like WrestleMania and whatnot. Was in the Royal Rumble at one point. I think it's hilarious because I've always kind of liked Johnny Knoxville. I'm a huge Jackass fan, and I just thought when this figure came out, I definitely needed it. Unfortunately, the neck there, if you guys see, the neck is a big gappage in there. So he doesn't get moved around too much. But very cool to have Johnny Knoxville in the Elite Collection. Crazy. We'll put him on top. Next up, we have a figure that I have reviewed on the channel before. Kane from 2002, early 2003, I guess. Came with that WWE Tag Team Championship belt. Just another one of those awesome Kane figures. I love this look for Kane. Like I said, I've done a review of him, so if you guys want to see more about this figure, check out the review. I think I reviewed him and X-Pac in one video. But yeah, great figure. Gotta have Kane from this era in the collection. Taking another sip here. Now this next figure coming up was one that when I got it, I really loved it, but it just needed some tweaking. Scott Steiner. I think this was his first Elite. Yeah, because he was supposed to have an Ultimate that never came out with that Monday Night Wars ring. But yeah, just when I got this headpiece, it was so like toy looking plastic. So I just painted it with some black wash and made it look so much more realistic and looks more like a chainmail thing now. So when it's on him, he just looks so good. Very cool figure, man. I just seen, I think a week ago, they're releasing another one, an Ultimate from WCW era with the short biker trunks. So definitely going to have to get that for my WCW shelf. But this is my Ruthless Scott Steiner, one of my favorite figures, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Just a complete badass, man. Fortunately, it doesn't say the 69 on his trunks, but, you know, that was never going to happen. Very cool. Scott Steiner. More figures of him, please, down the line. Next up, we got the Ruthless Aggression Rey Mysterio in the white. Gotta have a Ruthless Rey in the collection for the Mattels. There was the Amazon one in the red. Honestly, I think I paid the same price for this as I paid for the Ultimate. So maybe down the line I'll get that red Ultimate because it does depict his Royal Rumble winning. So very cool moment. But this white one I thought looked really cool. Definitely need it. Unfortunately, his eyes aren't painted, which kind of sucks. Like, I feel like his eyes should be like contact looking, like with the white and everything. So I don't know, but still a great fig. His head pops off very easily though. Look at that. Barely took pressure off that, but still cool. Gotta have Rey from the Ruthless era in the collection. All right, what do we got? 8 figures left. Coming up next, we have the Ultimate Edition Rock. Now this Rock I actually found at Walmart in Canada, in my hometown. And there was a good month there where the quality control from Mattel was just off the chains. This Rock came in an Ultimate Edition John Cena box. And instantly picked it up because the only way you can get this Rock is in the States at Target. So seeing him in Canada in a John Cena box, strapped down too. He was tied down. He had the plastic things holding him down. It wasn't a figure swap. It was a straight up error from the factory. I think I might have put these elbow pads on him. I don't think he came with these elbow pads, but I just threw them on. But yeah, just an Ultimate Rocky. And I got a discount on him too, because I even showed the lady, like, hey, like, this isn't John Cena, but I'll still buy it. So I got this Rock with John Cena's accessories. Very funny, very random. But yeah, you know me, I'll always add more Rocks in the collection, especially Ultimates. So very cool. Yeah, keep an eye out. Those, what's it called? Vietnam factories are kind of screwing up here and there, so you never know what you might find. All right, who do we got next? We got one of my favorite looks for HBK back in the day. And a lot of people will probably say, wow, you like his crappy brown pants? And it's not so much that I like it. It's just, it reminds me of that awesome match, that Hell in a Cell, or sorry, Elimination Chamber. Yeah, just so cool, man. It reminds me of Here Comes the Pain, the video game, favorite wrestling game ever. So yeah, the boots are nice. So he's got that, what do they call it, Dutch boy haircut. Just one of my favorite Shawn Michaels, man. Very cool, very cool. We'll put him up the top. Give me all the figures from 2002 and 2003. That's like my favorite era of wrestling. Next, we have the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Bret Hart. I think this is probably the best Bret Hart figure that they've ever done. Unfortunately, the head scans aren't great again. But again, if you just have your shades on him, it looks completely fine. As you take those shades off, yeah, his eyes look stupid and wonky. And he looks kind of drunk or tired, but you got these shades on, it's not going to matter. He's going to stand on my shelf right there, Attitude Era shelf, right beside Shawn Michaels. We got the Hart Foundation jacket. This was one of those figures I kind of wish I did a review on the channel for. But, yeah, just awesome. I think he's got the removable arms, too. So if you want to put him in his wrestling gear, you can do that. But just him in the jacket looks so nice. Yeah, there is Bret Hart. And next up, we have Macho Man. Target exclusive NWO Macho Man. This is one of those figures that's, I'm kind of like, I thought it was going to be better when I got it. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with it. It just feels not as special as I thought it would feel, I guess you could say. Is it they didn't make him jacked enough, maybe? This arm on the figure is kind of loose, if you can see that. Came with 2 shirts. These cuts on the sides are a little too wild, I think. I don't know. It's a great figure. I love it. It's a fronter in my WCW display, but I don't know. There's just something about it that's missing. Maybe it's the way the bandana looks on the head. I don't know. But it's still an awesome figure. I feel like one you need in your collection for your WCW elites or ultimates. But yeah, very cool. We'll put them up top. And we got 4 left. Let's bring out this big boy. One of my favorite Ultimate figures that I own. I think this is like the #1 Andre figure you can get in your collection. The Ultimate Andre. Just so cool. Came with 3 heads, I believe. Maybe 4 heads? 3 or 4 heads. But it's great articulation on the guy. Just comes with that World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt. Another one that's a little dusty here, but I don't think I ever need another Andre in my collection ever again. The one in the suit, the Elite 100, was pretty cool. If I see that for cheap, I might grab that, but him in his wrestling gear here looks really badass. Very cool. Andre the Giant. 3 left. All right. We have another Ultimate here. We got the Ultimate Hulk Hogan. I think they just re-released this figure with a different shirt, I believe. Possibly. Different shirt. Maybe in the white shirt. Maybe different trunks, too. But he is also a fronter on my 80s shelf. He goes right in the middle, right beside Warrior, right beside Flair. Perfect tan on this Hogan. He did come with 2 other heads, pretty cool looking other heads. But yeah, this is one of the best Hogans in my collection. It's really close with that one we saw earlier for me. But very, very cool. Gotta have that hot dog tan Hogan. Very, very cool. Hulk Hogan. 2 left, folks. We'll do this guy last. We'll do this one up next. All right. One of the recent pickups I got not too long ago. The Legends Kurt Angle, man. This was one that I was so torn on. I was like, do I get it? Do I not get it? I just thought, he's one of the best. You have to have more than one Kurt Angle. And just the likeness and the updated photo print and the satire too. Like, I just love the satire for him. All the gold stars everywhere. Another one that has a mark on the back of his head. I don't know how that happens, but just a great Kurt Angle. I don't think he came with this belt, now that I think of it. I might have thrown this belt on him. He did come with the It's True shirt. So I might throw that shirt on a different figure one day, or on this figure, who knows. But just an awesome looking Kurt Angle, man. I feel like he's another one you can't have too many of in your collection, because he's just one of the best to ever do it. So there is Kurt Angle. And last but not least, everybody's favorite right now, we got John Cena. This is the Ruthless Aggression John Cena figure that showed up at Walmart. I think this is from like 2006, maybe 2006, 2007. I believe they made a Jax figure of this back in the day as well. But there's just something about Cena from that era that if I see his figs on the shelf, I'll buy it. There is that new Ultimate coming out that depicts his WrestleMania 20 look. So that's going to be very cool. I'm definitely going to get that one. But yeah, just very cool Cena. He's on everyone's radar right now after what happened at the Elimination Chamber, which I wish I went to, but I didn't. But yeah, there's Cena, the last figure of the Mattel collection for now. Expect another Mattel collection video in about, I don't know, at the end of the year, I guess. If we have enough to do a video, I will do a part 5. But until then, stay tuned on the channel for more collection videos coming. I do have one planned. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.